Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us on News Channel Nebraska. My name's Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. 3 people are facing charges after authorities say they stole thousands of gallons of diesel fuel from gas stations in southwest Nebraska. The Dundee County Sheriff says Edwin Quintanilla Pena, Michelle Flores, and Cindy Garcia were all arrested late last week. The 3 accused of driving off after filling up multiple vehicles, including a box truck, without paying at 2 different facilities, making off with over $10,000 worth of fuel. The 3 were stopped and arrested along State Highway 34, just west of the town of Hagler. The former Carney High girls basketball coach says he plans to file a defamation lawsuit after a judge threw out his request for depositions. Buffalo County District Court Judge John Marsh issued the order Monday, dismissing J.D. Carson's petition for depositions before action. Carson was requesting attorneys lead depositions with Carney Public School officials. In the request, he said he hoped to learn who made statements to school officials that eventually led to him being asked to resign from his coaching post. Carson has named Amber Garner of Carney as the expected defendant. In his order, the judge said Carson already knows of an adverse party, so there's nothing preventing him from suing Garner and doing the depositions as part of pretrial discovery. Well, in a statement issued last month, school officials said Carson was accused of engaging in a flirtatious relationship and giving preferential treatment to a player. His attorneys say to expect the defamation suit to be filed this week. Residents in western Nebraska could see their mail processing move out of state. A notice sent to residents in North Platte this month by the United States Postal Service says they're evaluating whether or not to move mail processing out of North Platte and into Denver, Colorado. The move, part of a $40 billion plan announced this past summer to downsize sorting stations nationwide. Residents in North Platte do have a chance to comment publicly in an online form. The USPS says they'll be holding a public meeting if the decision to move processing to Denver gets the final okay. They say that process could take another month or 2. Well, inflation has had an impact on a number of industries. Nebraska's hospitals, no exception. According to a study by the Omaha World Herald this week, 51% of Nebraska's hospitals say they were operating in the red by the end of last year. In rural hospitals, it gets worse. 59% say they lost money on operations. The State Hospital Association says reimbursements from Medicaid, Medicare, and other insurers haven't kept pace with the rising costs, particularly for labor, pharmaceuticals, and other supplies. The state legislature's Health and Human Services Committee is holding a hearing on Friday regarding a measure that would provide more than $500 million in federal funds to help struggling hospitals. The University of Nebraska-Lincoln taking steps to maintain and increase its academic profile, which could go a long way toward preserving the school's athletic future. The University of Nebraska system announced Monday the National Science Foundation has agreed to let UNL and UNMC combine their annual federal research funding when responding to annual surveys. Now, that change could have a major impact on the school's academic standing. When the Association of American Universities took the unprecedented step of removing UNL back in 2011, the separation of that medical research funding from the main Lincoln campus was cited as a reason. Currently, Nebraska is the only Big Ten member that doesn't belong to the 71-member club of the top-tier research universities, meaning Nebraska's push to rejoin the AAU could help secure Nebraska's place in the athletic and academically prestigious, not to mention growing, Big Ten Conference. Mental health can be a big issue for many, and a Southeast Nebraska health clinic is making mental health days to help. Kyle Mathis has more.
Jefferson Community Health and Life is scheduling men's and women's health days while prioritizing mental health. For the men's health days, they are set for specific days each month. The days focus on not only physical problems, but mental problems too.
So JCH&L Fairbury Clinic offers the Men's Health Clinic monthly, and that is a clinic with Bryce Taylor, who is a PA here, and it's just those private conversations with specific men's health conditions, from low libido to erectile dysfunction to hormones.
For the Women's Health Days, the clinic provides physical checkups and mental screening, with results being available on the same day.
The Women's Health Days is a convenient way for women to be able to get their annual physical, their mammogram, their screening lab work done all in the same day.
With mental health checkups, providers will do a yearly physical and provide a depression screen. And based on those answers, the provider will receive information on if you need additional assistance. For Ashley Norden, she stresses how important it is to get mental health checkups regularly.
If you're not feeling yourself or you're feeling negative, feeling depressed, make sure to make an appointment with your healthcare provider because they can help navigate those feelings and get you feeling better.
For scheduling Men's Health Day, you can call the clinic at 402-729-3351 and call 402-587-5218 for the Women's Health Day planning. Reporting for News Channel Nebraska, I'm Kyle Mathis.
There's an important prescription drug recall to pass along. Azurity Pharmaceuticals has recalled some of its ADHD and narcolepsy medicine after a different drug ended up in the pill bottle. The company says it issued the recall after some of its Zenzidi tablets had an antihistamine medicine, carbinoxamine maleate, mixed into the package. A Zenzidi is a stimulant used for the treatment of ADHD and narcolepsy, but carbinoxamine is a sedative, has the opposite effect of a stimulant. The recall warns people who take the antihistamine instead of Zenzidi could experience drowsiness. That could put patients at risk of getting into an accident or hurting themselves. The company says so far it's not received any reports of anyone getting hurt because of the medicine mix-up. Back in 2020, a volunteer with a motorist assist program was struck and killed by a vehicle while helping another stranded driver on the side of the road in Omaha. That tragedy, part of a trend of the dangers that roadside assistance providers face nationwide, according to a new survey. Mike Valerio has more.
It's a worrisome reality for roadside assistance providers.
For those that are working on the side of the road, rescuing stranded motorists, providing valuable service to all motorists, it really is a very risky enterprise.
A new study by the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety reveals 123 tow truck drivers, mobile mechanics, emergency roadside technicians, and safety service patrols were fatally struck on the job from 2015 to 2021, nearly 4 times government estimates. The data also shows the vast majority of the fatal crashes occurred in areas where the speed limit was 55 miles an hour or higher and in good weather without slippery conditions. And while nearly 2/3 occurred in darkness, a notable 34% of crashes happened in broad daylight.
In nearly 2/3 of the crashes, the vehicle that was involved in the crash had already started to depart their lane. And so this really speaks to factors such as distraction, fatigue, impairment as being involved in these sorts of crashes.
Tracking the statistics is difficult, according to AAA's William Horry. Many of these occupational fatalities are unspecified in crash reports or recorded as pedestrian deaths. Having the right data, he says, is critical to improving worker safety. But more importantly, Horry notes, it's incumbent upon drivers to take care on the roads.
We really need motorists to slow down, move over. Even a few feet of spacing can mean the difference between life and death for some of these operators.
In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio.
A possible border deal could head to the Senate floor in the coming days. Now, the question remains, though, whether or not Republicans are going to listen to former President Donald Trump, who's tried to tank the compromise, in part because he wants to campaign on the issue this November. Our Washington correspondent Julia Benbrook has the latest on the border security talks in Washington and how those are impacting the campaign trail.
In a rare statement on the congressional negotiations, President Joe Biden says the bipartisan deal the Senate is working on is both tough and fair. Senator Chris Murphy, a Democrat from Connecticut, is one of the key negotiators.
I am hopeful that we will still have enough Republicans in the Senate who want to fix the problem at the border rather than just do Donald Trump's bidding.
While Republicans have long pushed for strengthening border security, the party's presidential frontrunner, Donald Trump, is asking them to reject the immigration compromise.
A bad bill is, I'd rather have no bill than a bad bill.
The former president is eyeing the general election and has been campaigning against Biden's handling of the border.
A lot of the senators are trying to say respectfully they're blaming it on me. I said, that's okay, please blame it on me, please.
Meanwhile, Trump's presidential primary opponent, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, says Congress needs to take action as soon as possible.
Donald Trump, the last thing he needs to do is tell them to wait to pass a border deal until the election. We can't wait one more day.
Components of the deal include a new authority that allows the president to shut down the border between ports of entry when unlawful crossings reach high levels, reforming the asylum system to resolve cases in a shorter time frame, and expediting work permits. Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Don't expect any big changes coming in the kitchen. The U.S. Energy Department released its new energy efficiency standards for stoves and ovens. 97% of gas stoves on the market already meet those standards. As for electric stoves, some adjustments are needed. The Appliance Standards Awareness Project is ensuring that all new versions of smooth top units use 30% less power than the lowest performing models made now. The DOE says the new standards will save American households about $1.6 billion over the next 30 years. The compliance goes into effect in January of 2028. And the city of Columbus has opened a brand new Fieldhouse. Andrew Pfeiffer gives us a look.
Well, the city of Columbus just opened a new field house for their hospital and wellness center. I'm going to go inside and take a quick tour and show you guys the new facility.
The city of Columbus just recently opened a new field house for their Columbus Community Hospital and Wellness Center. The facility is located on the north side of the building near 31st and 41st Avenue. The 101,500 square foot field has activities for everyone to enjoy, including a turf field, batting cages, a golf simulator, and many more unique features.
I think it's worth your time just to come and see. What we refer to as an athletic Disneyland. When they walk through those doors, a couple of things. They should be able to, regardless of where they're at in their athletic journey or their health journey or even just their lifestyle journey, there's something in here for everybody.
After all this time, it's amazing just to see people in it and using it. It really is meant for everyone in our community. We have people of all ages enjoying all the different kinds of activities that we have here, and it's just heartwarming to see them actually start to use it.
Construction for the project began back in 2019. Funding was completely provided by the hospital, and it was even given additional funding from the state once COVID hit. It summed up to be about $27.6 million.
As a hospital, our mission is to improve the health and wellness of our community. So back in 2012, we did a community health needs assessment. And so as a board, we sat down and talked about, what could we do in terms of brick and mortar to really impact the overall wellness of our community. That resulted in 2015 building the Wellness Center, and then of course this year opening our Fieldhouse, which is our second phase.
The Fieldhouse will host sports teams of all ages around the community and around the state of Nebraska. This year-round availability makes it vital to any and all athletes.
Nebraska winters are brutal, and so having this kind of facility for people to continue to be physically active during the wintertime is just tremendous.
The Fieldhouse also adds appeal to the city of Columbus while providing opportunities to anyone in the community.
When people are looking at making Columbus their permanent home, all of a sudden now there's kind of a bright shining star where they can come see and realize that the community is growing, that we're investing in that community, and it's a destination place to come and work.
According to Marshall, the astoundingly large Fieldhouse will provide even larger opportunities to the citizens of central Nebraska.
I know when you drive around it, it looks big. It's bigger when you get inside. It's big and it's endless, and so are the opportunities that this will provide for the community.
The Fieldhouse is now open and available to the public in Columbus. Andrew Pfeiffer, News Channel, Nebraska.
You can find much more in terms of headlines and weather by visiting our website, newschannelnebraska.com. That's a look at your headlines for today. I'm Eric McKay. Thanks for joining us. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.